Got a great episode of NXT this week featuring a main event between Ilya Dragunov and Pete Dunne. We also saw a WWE Hall of Famer appear and issue a challenge to Cameron Grimes on behalf of LA Knight. No prizes for guessing who that is, but on the whole, a decent looking episode. So let's get straight into it right now with Dakota Kai versus Sarai. Sarai went for a handshake, but Kai slapped her hand away. Fans were behind Sarai as the match started before Kai got some strikes in the corner. Kai looked in trouble for a second but broke the hold after grabbing Sarai's hair. We had back and forth before we went to a commercial. We came back to see Sarai getting on top, hitting Dakota Kai with a German suplex. Sarai was then hitting with a drop kick, followed by a sliding drop kick while Kai was down. At this point we saw Raquel Gonzalez arrive. Meanwhile, Kai hit her finisher for Sarai to get the win. Kai looked to attack Sarai after the match, but Raquel Gonzalez chased her away. I'm going to give this 6 out of 10. This was good, all good. Sarai got a bit of offense in, but obviously it was about putting Dakota Kai over and building up that feud with Gonzalez. Following last week's Love Her or Lose Her match on NXT, Dex Loomis was arriving at Johnny Gargano's and Candice LeRae's house to pick Indy Hartwell up for a date. Before Ilya Dragunov was at the CWC for the first time ahead of his rematch with Walter at TakeOver, he said that from where he came from, words didn't mean anything, but his pain and struggle meant something. Dragunov said that he put all strength he had into his fist. At this point, Pete Dunne's music hit and he made his way to the ring. Dunne said if he stayed in the UK, he would have taken Dragunov out a long time ago. Dragunov was ready to face Dunne later on, and the NXT Bruiserweight accepted the challenge. Really looking forward to that match. Just give it to me, to be honest. We've already had it. But anyway, LA Knight was backstage and with his butler Cameron Grimes. Knight said that Grimes was destined to be a butler and there was nothing special about him. Knight then made Grimes put the $1 Million Championship on his shoulder as the segment came to its end. We then went straight into an LA Knight match, basically a squash match. LA Knight was in action against Andre Chase. The only offense Chase got in this match was an arm drag. LA Knight quickly finished it with a BFT. Before following the match, the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase's music hit, and he said that the whole thing had gone too far. LA Knight interrupted the Hall of Fame but was told to shut up. DiBiase told Grimes that he had what it takes to be $1 Million Champion and said that he wanted one last go at NXT TakeOver 36. DiBiase replied that he was a gambling man and was ready to accept. Yeah, it just seems like a logical storyline, but yeah, this was a fine way to get there, I suppose. Nothing special, but nothing awful. Gigi Dolan then took on Amari Miller on NXT. Dolan was getting the upper advantage, you could say, and hit a back elbow, but Miller got some strikes in before Dolan hit back with a couple of short arm clothesline before finishing off with an impressive move to claim the easy win. I'm going to give it 6 out of 10. This was fine, just building Dolan up. What with all the releases, kind of a new start. If it's just as simple as that, I've got no issue with it. But then we caught up with Indy Hartwell and Dexter Loomis on their date and made their order. Hartwell found Candice at one of the adjoining tables, keeping an eye on the date, all very tense. Before we got Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly in the ring, William Regal was in the ring along with security as he invited the two participants into the ring, and they each got to pick their stipulation for the 2 out of 3 falls match. Kyle O'Reilly went first and picked a straight up pinfall submission match. Cole went next and he picked a street fight for the second stipulation. Cole also told O'Reilly not to worry about what Regal would pick for the third fall because the match wouldn't go to the third fall. O'Reilly warned Cole that he was the most dangerous man of the former Undisputed Era, and the leader had stepped into the ring with the wrong man. The two NXT superstars had to be separated as William Regal announced the third fall would be inside a steel cage. This was everything it needed to be. Confirm the stipulation, get everyone hyped, because I really can't wait for this. Ciampa was backstage and he said that Ridge Holland wasn't on the level of either Timothy Thatcher or himself. He said that there was no way Holland would make a name for himself on the black and gold brand at their expense. Thatcher interrupted and laid out their challenge to Holland before he got the first semi-final of the breakout tournament, Trey Baxter versus Odyssey Jones. Odyssey Jones had the power and size advantage and made the advantage of it early on. And Baxter adjusted his game plan and went for the Jones' leg. Jones hit back with a splash in the corner. Odyssey followed it up with a spinning Uranagi slam, and that was enough for him to pick out the win. Odyssey Jones was interviewed at ringside after the match and said he was excited to reach the final. I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. This is a perfectly good match, and I think the right result. But yeah, next up on NXT, William Regal announced MSK will face Imperium for the tag team titles, while Kushida will defend the Cruiserweight title against Roderick Strong next week. So they're kind of just the matches that didn't make it onto a stacked NXT. Before we got Boa versus Drake Maverick. Maverick had a tough ask ahead of him. Boa dominated the opening stages of the match, picking apart Maverick and tossing him around the ring. Maverick got some offense in, hitting a Hurricane Rana, followed by a low drop kick. Boa rolled out to ringside to catch a breather, but Maverick didn't give him any respite. Mi Yang caught Maverick with the mist in the face at ringside, momentarily blinded Maverick, rolled back into the ring where Boa caught him with a roundhouse kick and covered him for the 3 count for a pretty easy win. I'm going to give it 6 out of 10. This was a perfectly good match, and of course the right result really. Caught up with Indy Hartwell and Dexter Lumis on their date. It was all time for dessert, and we saw Johnny Gargano dressed as a way to bring them their cake. The dessert ended up on Dexter Lumis' face before Johnny Gargano made his exit. It was then time for Pete Dunne versus Ilya Dragunov. Dunne started the match strong, trying to work over Dragovich's off. The Russian hit back with a fireman's carry and a double leg takedown. Both men were back on their feet, but Dragunov hit a German suplex. It was almost a mistake as Dunne joined him on the top turnbuckle. Dragunov pushed the Bruiserweight off and launched him at Dunne, who caught him with a nasty looking strike. Back from the break, Dragunov was on top with a series of running strikes to get in control. He then rained down elbow strikes on Dunne before planting him on the mat. Dunne locked in an armbar and Dragunov replied with a modified powerbomb. Dunne was going for the bitter end at that point. Dragunov managed to counter it though and headed to the top rope and hit a senton before Walter's music hit and the NXT UK champion came out. Dunne tried to blindside Dragunov, but he caught Dunne with a knee strike. However, the ring general distracted Ilya long enough for Dunne to capitalise. The Bruiserweight hit the bitter end to get the win, and after the match, Walter entered the ring after the match, but Dragunov had enough left to fight the NXT UK champion off. This was just a brilliant end to NXT, an absolutely bitter match, and it just shows what Dragunov can do. Overall, NXT this week gets a 6 out of 10. Yeah, I thought it was a decent show. It's kind of just 2 weeks to go until TakeOver, the pay-per-view. Kind of what you'd expect, just slowly building things up. But obviously we'll get like the main stuff next week. But on the whole, I found this a perfectly enjoyable show this week. Yeah. But anyway guys, that's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and any thoughts, comments down below. And to follow me on Twitter, link in the description below for daily wrestling news, and subscribe to my channel on the screen right now. That'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace.